Well, this video is going to be a little bit harder to see, but let's see if my camera can pick this up or not. Oh. So, I found a broken wire for my lockup solenoid on the Honda here. I just pried those two tongs open on the boot. I'm going to pull the boot off. I'm going to try and solder to that remaining bit of wire. I've done it before, so it's just curious how much available wire there is down there. So, underneath the boot. But, so we're going to end up soldering to that. If we come back over here with my uber bright light. No, we don't need that one. I got the other one over here. Set this where I don't lose it. After much searching around online, I was able to find that this car has 2 or 3 sets of solenoids, pairs of them or something like that. This is the one I replaced right on top with the black and brown plug there. 2 rusty looking solenoids. But the ones in question that I found out that this car has, you can see 2 rusty little cylinders down there. Those are the other solenoids I just found out about. And this plug right here, no, where is it? Yeah, right here, that's disconnected. And that this one right here, you can see the wire was broken or chewed off or something. Apparently this is the lockup solenoid A, the plug for it. That wire goes down to them cylinders. I used my universal pin popper. Voila. High tech, man. High tech. Let's see if I can stick this somewhere where it'll be handy. I'm trying to do this one-handed. I just take my pin and stick it in. I don't know, you can see the pin right here. Right where the notch gets skinny. I stick it right in the very top here. I don't know that I can show this all that much. One-handed. Pretty much right here. Come on, phone. Quit being a pile. There you go. Right in the very, very top. Now you gotta be gentle. You gotta press on it pretty hard. Pretty hard, not hard. And then, wiggle it in there. And then once the pin pushes in a fair ways, not just a little, but a fair ways, for me, then I came on the backside with a pair of needle nose pliers and pulled on it, and it pulled right out. And I didn't have to pull hard, so not hard at all. And like I said, it took me forever to find out that this solenoid was even here. I thought, when you Google the solenoids, they come up like this, looking like that. Not like those ones. Those ones aren't straight out. They're up and angled almost like a 45 or something like that from where they mount. So that's why I was like, oh, my car doesn't have those. Quit showing me that. Not that it showed me a whole lot of it because, most of the solenoids that come up are for the 2.3 liter, different transmission. So for the 3 liter, those ones are primarily coming up. So I sourced that used, and that's not having a problem. That didn't change anything really, other than the fact that I cleaned the screens out of the ones that were inside the transmission. So shouldn't have too many issues. I'm really, 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 really hoping that I will be able to get that wire all soldered up nice and neat, and then once the interior's back together, I can hopefully put this thing in drive and have it work exactly like how it's supposed to. That is the idea. I'm really hoping the transmission's okay. I can get away with it for a while, and I don't have to do a tranny job. But if I do, I do. If I don't, I don't. It's just kind of like, oh, there really actually was an issue with the solenoid. I didn't know there was a solenoid back there. And so, I don't know. I'm excited, but at the same time, I have to wait about 2 weeks before I can go and just kind of spend money on a 3-part heater box. They are all out. As you can see, I don't know if that's ECM or BCM or whatever that is. I got to take that off. I got to clean all that firewall padding. Clean up the center console. I got to get a different shifter because that's just reeks and it's so intricate. You'd have to spend 3 hours cleaning it, and yeah, it still stinks, but not near as potent. And you've got the boxes here. That's just the firewall that did some reason it was like glued on there. I had to cut it off. It just would not come loose. I pry it on it, and just like screw it, cutting it. Oh well. Anyway, but you could see just the pile of crap that is just on this thing. I mean, this isn't so bad, but no, that definitely doesn't look nice. And all the piles of poop in there. And yeah. So, new heater box. Finish wiping down the entire interior. I gotta pull everything out, wipe it all down. And then hopefully I can ozone the car again without anything in it. And that should allow for less stank. A whole lot less. Like, no stank would be great. But, yeah. I'm going to leave the seats in on the back. I mean, that shouldn't be a problem. I might pull the rear seat up just to see what's underneath it. And then, yeah. But anyway, so that's a quick peek. That's what's exciting. I'm really hoping that fixes the transmission. The guy said it needs a new transmission. And when I first got the car and started doing some looking up on the codes that I'm having, which is a P153, I think. Right? 153? 1753? Something like that. The lockup solenoid, a whatever, and a P0700, and people are like, "Oh, that's the death code for those trannies, isn't it?" And I'm like, "It probably is. It probably is the way it's driving, if you want to call it driving." So, but one of the symptoms I read up on it was, it won't shift with this code. Well, that's kind of what we're having. It goes, throw it in first, it goes into first, it bangs into first, and then you bump it up to second, it does nothing. You bump it up to third, it revs way up, then comes back down into like fourth or something. So I don't know. I mean, the transmission could very well be shot, but it could very well just be an electrical problem. So who knows? But yeah, it'd be nice if it's just a little problem. Or I'll test the solenoids too, most likely, while it's in this state. So just to make sure the solenoids are working properly. That's pretty easy. That I could take the power probe and just kind of click on and off the solenoid to see if they're clicking okay. And of course, obviously, that don't guarantee. But the nice thing about the power probe is that when I hook up to it, because the solenoids are grounded to the transmission, you're just putting power to each pin individually at different times. You test one, then the other, because, yeah, whatever. But, oh man, it's just going to be so nice. It tells you the ohms right on the power probe, so you know what you're working with. It's like up to 20 ohms or something like that, like 10 to 20 or 5 to 20. I don't remember. It's within spec, so... And if it's not in spec, then maybe get a new solenoid and see where we stand from there. But it'd be great if I could just put the interior back in this car and just drive it. That would be so nice. Save me about $450. I found about transmission, 109,000 miles. I am just so skeptical on buying a used transmission for this thing. Most of the local ones are well over 200,000 miles, 220, 230. But these transmissions seem to kind of be lucky to get to 150,000 miles with the V6s. So it's like, do I want a 100,000 mile transmission? In a truck, yeah, that sounds great. In a car, in this car, I should say, you're really pushing it. You're pushing your luck. You might get 50,000 out of it. And the way I drive, I might get 20,000 or 10,000 out of it. So this is probably where this car is not going to be the best fit for me, because I have a lead foot. I have like 2 lead foot on one. So 2 lead feet on one foot. It just, I like speed. I like getting up to speed. And so I do daily drive every once in a while, but it's not, I don't know. I'm harder on my vehicles, but at the same time I maintain my vehicles. So I get a little bit longer out of them than the average lead foot, just blowing everything up. So, but I really don't want to be putting a transmission in this thing every 6 months or something, because You know, you keep buying used trannies with 150,000 or 200,000. It's just a gamble, you know. You buy something with 220,000. Has the transmission been replaced before? You certainly hope so, but you're not guaranteed. And a reman tranny for this thing is almost at Blue Book for this car. You know, 1900, freaking 2800. I mean, holy shit. For a reman tranny? You gotta be kidding. And I know you could buy rebuild kits, and it's just not what I want to do with this thing. How long's that going to get me? You know, that's a lot of work, and how far down the road will that get you? Why isn't there a fix for these transmissions? Why isn't there a performance kit for this transmission? If it's clutches or something that's burning out, why isn't there a performance set that you could build it and actually drive the thing? So, I don't know. I don't know enough about these cars. I can't seem to find any information on a permanent fix for these trannies. It's just, yep, keep slapping another one in there. The car will run forever, but it won't drive forever. So, it's a Honda with VTEC. So I'm excited to see once the interior's back together. But like I said, that's about 2 weeks away before I even get a heater box. But it wasn't hard pulling the heater box out. It's really nice. It's in 3 sections. There's only a few bolts per box, and you know, hose connections, and the Freon was already pretty much out. I hit the valve over here and it just went psh. I was like, yeah, I was just curious how much pressure was in it. So like nothing, which is consistent with when I tried to test the AC and the compressor didn't click, and I'm like, I ain't putting Freon in it, so I already know it needs a heater box, so I ain't gonna waste Freon to pull the thing back out. But it's really nice. Connections weren't too bad back here for the AC. You can see over here. I don't know why the light doesn't adjust. The big line, small line with the nuts right there. Those weren't difficult, so that was really nice. Nice little pile of poo there. But rather excited to see what this car has in store. So, yeah. But I suppose, before I keep you guys just on the line for really nothing, I know a lot of people consider this car a lost cause, but you know, the body's in good shape, and I just can't stand to let stuff just go to the junkyard just because of a little stank, you know. Yeah, it turned into a hell of a lot more work than I was anticipating, but you know, we'll get her back together, and it's a good learning experience, I guess, to just frickin' try and figure out where all the electrical connections go. That's half the fun, right? So, but my gosh, for such a basic car, there is so many electrical connections. You know, it's just nuts. I mean, I don't think a Cadillac has just about, well, a Cadillac probably has that many electrical connections. Why the hell does a little 98 Honda Accord? That's just bewildering, eh? So, anyway, so I suppose, I hope you guys enjoyed the little snafu into what we're doing. I gotta try and get that soldered up, and I guess in 2 weeks you guys will find out, when I do, whether or not the transmission works or not. So stay tuned. Thanks for watching. God bless.